Alright, today it's kind of the last stage of putting this motor together before I put it in my MK4 Cobra. So today I'm going to put the flywheel on and clutch on, bell housing, transmission, the whole deal, so I can drop it in the car together. So here's my new flywheel, pressure plate and clutch, and what I'm going to do next is clean all these with a brake cleaner. And the reason you want to do that versus like a carb cleaner is carb cleaners have some solvent or petroleum distillates in there, cause clutch slip. So using my SuperTech Walmart special brake cleaner to clean these babies up and put it on. Something to note here too when you install this on the crank. I know when I looked at this initially, there's a 50-ounce imbalance for a 302. So you think, well, how do I clock this? And believe it or not, one of these holes, and I think it's this one by the drill hole, is slightly offset, and it's the same on the crankshaft. So it's kind of a smart design by Ford because you don't need a dowel van, and that offset only allows it to install one way. So it will only line up one way, which is the right way. Alright, so here's the flywheel on the crank, and that offset I was telling you about. You'll see that one hole by that drilled dot, that's the offset hole, is lined up while all the others aren't. So it can only go in one way, which is, if I twist it this way, you will see now all the holes are lined up. So great design by Ford. So for the next step, so I got it mocked up, and now I'm gonna actually add thread lock to all of these bolts, and the reason is those are through holes into the crankcase. So if you don't add thread lock or some kind of sealant, you're going to have oil leaking past the threads, and you can already see it spinning around and then oil trickling onto your flywheel, and before you know it, your clutch is smoked. So that's an important step you got to do. So here we go. Alright, so I got my flywheel torqued on, and something I didn't do in that previous clip there's dowels for your pressure plate. So I actually installed these dowels. It's a lot easier to install these with the flywheel off because it's a press fit. You know, people on the internet saying, oh, they're so tight. They're supposed to be tight. You know, this is a spinning assembly that's balanced. You want everything to be snug. So anyways, make sure you do those before you put the flywheel on, make your life easier. And I'm ready to put my disc on and the pressure plate, and I'm going to be using an alignment tool and make sure that this is positioned in the correct direction. Again, this is a flywheel side, there'll be stamped flywheel side. And then when you start down your pressure plate, you don't want to just crank down one bolt at a time. You want to be an even tightening sequence, so it basically wobbles down to seating. And I'm going to be using thread lock on all these also, and here we go. Clutch is on, elbows on. So now I got to make sure everything is aligned. So what I'm going to do next is put my bell housing on, attach an indicator here to the pressure plate, and just turn it over by hand. So I already checked these dowels without anything on the engine. Just I had the indicator on the crank. So assuming everything's straight here, I should have the same indicating numbers. So, and again, the Ford spec, they list up to 15,000 total run out. That seems high to me, but you know, it's probably a factory spec. It was good enough. So, but anyways, I turned these offset dowels. I made another movie of that. But basically, by turning these, I'm within, I'm basically under 2,000. So that's right, nice and centered, alignment between the transmission and the engine. So I'm gonna check that next. And the end result is I'm indicating in just under 2 thou runouts. So that's what I'm machining the dowels to be. So everything's really coming together here. Okay, so the bell housing's aligned, and now it's time to put the clutch fork on and the throwout bearing. And lastly, just bolt the transmission up. So I'm going to go in from the side from the clutch fork, obviously. And here's my new clutch fork and throwout bearing. So you're going to see there's grease already on the inside. It's Ford supplied material. Don't need a lot of grease to slide on the retainer, just enough to lubricate it. You don't want too much anyways because it'll get on your clutch. And something to note when you do these throwout bearings is that smaller diameter, you can't really see it here, but it's got a bump on it, so it's to prevent the housing from spinning. So your throwout thinner is basically forced to rotate because you don't want to rotate the clutch fork. So I'm going to put this through the side and start putting it together. Alright, the transmission is torqued on and ready to almost call it a day. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install a dust cover over the clutch fork just so I don't have crap getting in there. I did get this from Late Mile Restoration and real impressed with the quality. And these are the finishing touches that you gotta, you know, sometimes people nickel and dime on this stuff, but you know, you put all this time into this, you gotta make sure you buy these pieces so when it does go together, it stays together and you don't have an issue. So fits real nice, and that's it. So thanks for watching my video.